Welcome to What's the Beat. I'm your host Najee.
I'm Bonnie.
And I'm Ronnie.
We're back with today's topic. We're going to talk about the recap of yesterday's West Powlton's annual day?
25th?
25th annual day. I had fun.
I enjoyed myself. I mean, we were there briefly, but to support. We did the parade, but it was definitely
fun. We had other arrangements that yesterday too, so we had to, like you said, support, do the parade, and we had to get out of there.
Yeah, I was able to attend. I had fun overall, but there was a few, disturbances, I guess.
Yeah, I heard it was a little distraction.
Yeah, it was a small distraction. I mean, it was a fight that had broke out between two different teams, Finance and XK Relations. I wasn't too sure why the fight broke out or how it happened. Finance was leaving the floor, leaving the floor from performing, and somehow before the beat even stopped, they just broke out into a fight, and it escalated for a little while. You had people who were of age, or people who should know to act better, acting crazy, like at that setting and running, getting guns, and not really controlling their people.
Guns at a children's event?
Yeah, and then I'm like, in my head, I'm just sitting here thinking like, drill team hasn't had a fight in like God knows how long.
It's just I don't even know what to call it. I just feel like it was unfortunate that something like that happened. Definitely. And especially as someone's coming out day, because West Powlton works so hard. This is something that Antoine has been promoting for forever, right. And this is their 25th anniversary.
West Powlton, and what they're doing for the drill team community itself, like they're out there like trying to put this drill team community out there with what they're doing.
And they're so positive, like
right.
They're just a positive team altogether. So I was definitely, when I got the call, I was just like, my first mindset was, that really sucks. Like that was somebody's coming out day. How do we get to this point? Like I just never understand. None of this is ever worth fighting. I don't know what it was for. I heard it was over beats. I mean, everybody plays everybody's beats. Shout out to Zodiac with the kick down. But, my thing is, it just is what it is.
And if it was over beats, like Jesus Christ, like I done heard so many beats. Like half these drill teams out here play Logan beat march down the street, like a Logan breakdown. Like I don't understand. Even if they're not out, like we're fighting over beats. Like.
Right.
So I just hope that maybe the adults can be adults about the situation, because it's never okay to send your kids to go after other kids. Yeah. So in this situation,
which was the story that I did actually hear, because like I said, I wasn't too sure why it broke out, but I did hear that one of the directors sent the kids behind the kids, basically edging on the situation.
Yeah. And we have to know, like, our kids in this generation and how they react to certain things, and when you send them, like, I could understand, but this is drill team and, these are drummers or whatever the case is, that you might want to feel like, oh, this is a drumline type thing, let's send them and make them battle or whatever. But we got to think of the mentality of the kids we're dealing with, and then for the fact of saying that someone had a gun, these are children.
Just think, it's just that
everybody
was respect. Like,
if
they weren't finishing with no reason why y'all should have followed them. It's just period. You get what I'm saying? Like, if it's not agreed that we're going to do a street battle, if it's not agreed, for fun, especially when that
the consent of the director.
Yeah, especially when you know that there was some type of tension there. Why would you even do that? You get what I'm saying? It was like it's kind of like you were asking for what happened.
I just don't like the way it seems that these directors are kind of having their kids represent their team. Like I never want my kids to ever think that it's okay to just go out and just, because they took a step of mine or they took this or they did that I'm gonna go and stop them. That's not how it works. That's not how it works in the real world. You have to teach these kids real life skills.
Right.
And if all you can teach them is to go out and actually fight people when things don't go your way, or somebody stole an idea, or somebody did this. They're never going to get anywhere in the real world. Like, this is just not how you handle things. You will be arrested if you did that at your job because a coworker was brown nosing or stole your idea and they get recognition from it. You can't do things like that. And that's not, if you want to breed little hoodlums, then by all means go right on ahead. But this sport, just like any other sport, should be taken seriously, and it definitely should not be put out there this way.
I think just like, other sports have leagues and they have rules in their leagues, the organizations like the AMA and Enhent are not like leagues. Like, I think we should have a certain credential to where you should be able to start a drill team, to where your drill team should be able to participate in these leagues. And because it's like taken away from where the people that are positive and trying to do something positive with their kids. It's taken away from what we're doing. That's why I feel like, in my opinion, it's shunned from our community, the urban community, because
it's such an urban thing. Let's get these kids off the street, but you're not really teaching them anything. Yeah, you took them off the street and you're taking them to places. They ain't been to Ohio, so they go to Ohio. They never been to Connecticut, so you take them to Connecticut. And I get that, but I do understand where you're coming from, that at some point you have to start teaching them some professionalism. You have to, I don't mind taking the kids off the street, but when you come here, you gonna work hard. You gonna work for this. You gonna work for this, because my word is my bond and my name is me. That's all I got. Mm-hmm. So if you think that you're gonna come here and you're actually gonna cut up and that's gonna be okay,
and tarnish my name,
mm-hmm. That's not okay. I never want to be known as the ghetto drill team. That's the ghetto drill team. That's this. You know why we can't get ahead? Because it's our people stopping us from getting ahead. Yeah, nobody's saying that people don't fight and they don't argue, they don't disagree. I will never say that. But leave that ghetto stuff at home. Do that on your porch if that's what you choose to do. But there are unsaid rules for coming out days. You should just know the rules that you follow at an organization's competition is the same rules you need to follow when you're at a parade, somebody's coming out day, whatever. So I guess because there's no actual thing that can happen to you, a part of me feels like I wish that maybe it could have been something like they were fighting at this coming out day. You're not allowed at nationals. Like, this is not okay. We will not tolerate this. So to be a part of this, you have to follow the ground rules no matter where you go. Right. Because that's the whole purpose. That's what was so like the NBA. Right. You got the NBA and they house all these teams. So not only do you have to follow, your team has to follow the NBA's rules, but you also have to follow your team rules. Because if you do something in the club and you on TMZ the next morning, for whatever reason, the NBA was like, "Oh, you're suspended. You're cut. You're cut. You're not even cut from your team. You cut from the NBA, so you can't play, and your team has to follow back."
It's just unfortunate to see, I noticed, it was a lot of mothers and out there, you can tell that they were just trying to defend their kids. Mm-hmm. They didn't probably know the background story of it, and then it just even took it down to an even lower caliber when you even see the directors. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Get to that point to where they were actually fighting or wanting to fight, to try to initiate it. It's just it's like no leadership. You can not say that there is no leadership with the teams, but where was it? Looking at it, you get what I'm saying, for the people who just were enjoying West Powlton Day, who's from around that area, who just wanted to come and celebrate their 25th anniversary, it looked as if y'all came to do that. This is what y'all do on a regular. Y'all don't have, because it didn't seem like nobody was trying to grab anybody to stop it. It just seemed like everybody was going for, a punch. And it was that's not going to, that could have went on for hours if you really wanted to. If nobody's trying to stop it, so it's unfortunate to see other directors have to step in to. Right, because this is what we're here for. If it's something like that happens, directors are there to take the kids, no, let's go, stop, boom, bow, boom. And if it's a problem or if we're playing your beat or whatever the case is, the director, pull me to the side. And then the fact
Listen,
that
it's sad because
there were people
it's
there
at
that
the
helped
point
them, that
for
were going to
me.
help them, so it wasn't like they could have felt as though, they had to defend themselves, but at the same time, people were helping, trying to break it up also. So instead of you going into the fight, trying to fight, you could have begin to break it up also. You didn't do nothing but make it escalate. And then by the team staying around for a while, I guess just trying to stand their ground, show their respect, or, earn their name. I'm not sure what it was, but it was like, just to linger around and the days trying to go on, and it escalated too far, like, it really did. Like, that's just how I feel about this situation.
It's very unfortunate. And it kind of makes you, in a sense, want to say, I kind of understand why some of these other teams that people may think have like this aura about them that they're not doing coming out days. I kind of understand why you don't, because these are the things that you actually don't want to put yourself in the midst of, or your kids in the midst of. So again, shout out to West Powlton, because my kids enjoyed their Sunday parade. They got to linger for a little bit before performances start, and then we had to get out of there. But a part of me is thankful that I was able to grab my kids and get them out there, because right now my kids are very innocent. They don't really know too much of like the drama and what goes on, and I'm very thankful for that. So while I can maintain their innocence, I would really, really like to. So it definitely has me second guessing how many more coming out days I am actually going to support.
Because most of these teams are going to be at the same coming out day.
Well, all in all, yesterday I had a good day, but my coming out day is coming up, Mass Confusions.
Yes, that's the next coming out day. Yes.
July 19th, and we will have tight police security, as we always do at our coming out days. We'll come act the fool if you want.
Okay. Is our coming out day next?
Actually, so we have, next is Mass Confusions, July 16th, Iconics, July 23rd, and Finest, July 30th. So that's our lineup for July, and I mean, I'll be there regardless, but I'm definitely shielding my kids. I'm not sure. Imperial Dynasty is on the list for July 9th, but however, I know Devin, he's very efficient, and he has not talked about it since he asked about it. So I can put July 9th out there, but I'm actually not sure. However, July 8th, 9th, or 7th, 8th, and 9th, or no, July 8th and 9th, support, Special Ops, because they're doing those parties for that day. So the 8th is from, the 8th is the 14 to 18 is the 8th. That's from like 8 to 12 or something like that. And then on the 9th, which is that Saturday, they're going to do from noon to 4 for 13 and under, and then whatever to 2 a.m. for 9 to 2 for the adults 18 and older. So support them, get your kids out there. It would really be nice for your kids to do something. So it's especially the 13 and under. Let them go. It's noon to 4. And that's that'll be a great thing to do. So especially if there's no coming out day that weekend, then let your kids go and party, because they're going to be booked up all of July and all of August. So again, don't forget 8th and 9th. That's for Special Ops little party for those 2 days. What's your coming out day?
The 16th.
The 16th is going to be Mass Confusion.
United
The 23rd.
Confusion.
The 23rd is going to be Iconic, and Finest is July 30th. So let's just keep it positive, guys. Bring the kids out, and no more fighting.
No more fighting. Your team, we got to do better if we want to get better.
Yes, I hope your directors can actually, have a sit down and hash things out,
Or if not, a sit down, a phone conversation or something, just to hash it out to get over your issues.
Yeah. So, next topic.
So, we haven't had a competition from the AMA in a very long time. I think since March.
March. So we only had states.
Okay.
There has not been.
No. It wasn't states.
It was a qualifier.
No, there was no qualifier, babies. We were supposed to have a competition in January. It never happened. The only competition we had was states.
No. Considered a state.
It wasn't.
Well, whatever it was. It was
the trophy, because the trophies we have trophies. The trophies say first qualifier.
Oh, okay. So we skipped states. We went to first qualifier and. So okay, so no, well, they owed us the semis and the nationals.
But we're in the nationals.
But we're in the nationals time frame. So an email definitely went out about having a meeting to discuss the extended.
Not to cut you off, but the email came, but it went to our spam folder just because we hadn't gotten an email from them in so long.
Okay, so it didn't go to our spam folder. However, Mr. Tony actually sends the email out, and he still has Val's personal email on. So Val normally gets it before we end up getting it, and he just tells me Mr. Tony sent us an email. So that's pretty much what happened, because I definitely stopped checking our LZP's email for AMA stuff. If it don't say Enhent, I skip over it because there's nothing else. I don't subscribe to anything for that email, so that we just get our business things. So if it doesn't say Enhent, then I'm not checking for it. So to be honest. So TBH. Anyway, so there was an email that went out. It was also posted on the Facebook page about this having a meeting to discuss their extended season. Mass Confusion nor Royal Legacy Zodiac attended the meeting. However, I definitely not on any I had a reason. My kids were fundraising. We have a nationals coming up. Right. And although you're discussing an extended season, for me, that's on the back burner. I kind of already dismissed this whole situation. Right, so my kids' focus right now is in head, and that's what I'm going with. So that was, where I was at with it. Right. But I definitely did, call to talk to some people just to see how it went. So I actually talked to a staff member who basically just explained, they were suggesting that they have the semis in September and then the nationals in October, and then basically start the new season in November. So that's a lot for me. So my face was like, what? But they took a vote, which I was thankful for, because if that was something that you were just kind of throwing out there, this is what we're doing, then you definitely could have X'd Royal Legacy Zodiac out. However, that was a vote, and everybody pretty much agreed that let's just nix this season and you start fresh for November. Get yourself situated for whatever reason. However, for me, there were, I guess, some apologies. Might have came. I heard there was an apology. It wasn't in the opening of the meeting, but it definitely came somewhere within the meeting. But for me, I feel like my first question would have been, and I don't know if this was brought out there from what I know, but why are we just having a meeting in June when we haven't had a competition since November?
Okay, so it was November, dang.
It was November. Yeah. We haven't had a competition since November. So in January, when your correspondence sucks, and the correspondence to me, corresponding with us and the communication along the lines were, you're getting an attitude with people who are kind of commenting on your post saying well, you're promoting this coming out day, but when are we having a competition? And no, they're not directors. However, they have valid points. The directors aren't really saying anything, but at this point, how can we? We send an email, it doesn't get addressed. People are commenting on your posts, and that's not even getting addressed. You're kind of dancing around what they're saying, and everything became every other person's problem. Oh, because of the snow, it didn't snow that bad, but because of the snow, they had to push back basketball season. So now that's messing us up. Okay, so now that it's no snowing and basketball season has caught up, what happened? For me, by March, there should have been a meeting.
Yeah.
And there should have been a meeting to decide what we were going to do. Do y'all want to go straight to nationals? Because I would have voted, hell yeah. Let's just go straight to nationals.
And get it out the way.
That would have made more sense.
That would have made more sense, and I would have been okay, because now my kids are preparing in March for the 2 nationals that they have in June. But once, West Powlton said they're coming out, they was the 18th. My thing was, even if they bring this to the table, we're out.
Yeah, we're out.
Because we're doing West Powlton Day on the 18th, and the next weekend is Enhent. So unless you come in the first weekend in June, I don't know what to tell you, because we're booked. So, there should have been some type of correspondence to me earlier on, and there wasn't. And so, for me, now it's just like, I would like for my kids to have, our drummers are going to be entering into TIA, so they have something else, to do, our younger kids.
Okay.
But I would like to keep my girls, busy with doing other things. So at this point, if that just means traveling and having, getting the parents together and be like, listen, we would like to keep them busy. It kind of bored us, because all we had was Enhent, and the competitions were so spaced out that it's just like, we haven't had a competition since March. So you're just practicing for the next competition. And that's not until June. So, shout out to Enhent for having, having something for our kids to do, because if there wasn't no Enhent this season,
it would be nothing.
We would have been waiting for the coming out days. So, but they definitely nixed that, and just let's start off fresh. So, hopefully he's open to help, because it's clear that you need the help for venues and whatever. And those who can get the venues, those teams that can, because listen, I don't care if I'm going to what's the 2 places that Atlantic City can get. They can get Atlantic City exclusive, can get the one was that not Pemberton, with Pleasantville and Atlantic City. I don't care if you send me to Pleasantville and Atlantic City for all season, and then send me to Wildwood or whatever. At least my kids are said they're going to a competition. It's in Jersey, they're happy, whatever. If those are the only 2 places that you can get, because I'm sure other teams can get places, but what I'm saying is, I know for a fact that Toya is always willing to help them when it comes down to getting places. My thing is just like, for real, what's going on?
Do we get these big gigantic places like Atlantic City High School, and he's spending all this money or whatever the case is,
and you're not?
It's 3 teams. It's 3 open squads. It might be like 10 intermediate, 10 juniors. It's not that many teams that you catering to. Right. You go for a smaller venue. Go for what you know,
whatever we can afford.
Yeah, whatever. You live beyond your means at this point.
So that's the other thing with the whatever you can afford. And then the
spectators, not to cut you, then the spectators you don't even fill up the spectator side.
Right. So people were asking about, kind of, I guess, getting their money back as well. I'm sure most people did not pay in full, because we had a deadline, so you had to pay your first $150 and then your second $150. So we never even made it to the second $150. So I'm sure that people didn't pay their whole $150. But technically, if you break it down that way and look at it in a sense, it's kind of like $75 each competition. So since we only had one, I'm sure some people were like, well, can I get $75 back or whatever. So that was a no, needless to say.
So is our money going to be considered our first round fee for next season?
So I think I actually kind of think that might have been tabled, because that was kind of something that was suggested from somebody on the board, maybe we can do it that way.
Maybe it should be, if you're not going to refund me my money and you only gave me one competition.
Right.
Yeah, it's
rightfully you should my money back, because it was false advertising. We were promised, not promised, but we were told that we were going to go a whole season. Regardless if we paid our money in, our money should have been given back. Well, not our money, because Iconic isn't a part of the ANA right now. They're actually not doing any competition seasons right now. But you should have gave the money should have been given back, especially if the competition wasn't since November. And it's June, and then for you to come with a idea, or let's do an extended season, but let's end the season in September, October, and then start fresh in November. that to me, like, honestly, that's stupid.
I honestly think though, when I look back on that, because that was something in my mind. My thing was when he said extended season, and we still had like a week or two before the actual meeting. Me and Val were discussing it, and I was just like, well, he can't start the extended season in July. People have coming out days.
Right.
You can't start it in August because even August is booked. So now you're looking at September and October, and then your new season starts in November. And here, that's how it was presented: September and October, because you knew you weren't going to get the participation because these are people's coming out days.
Right.
So, you know, it just is what it is. You know you're not going to have mass confusion if you do it in July on their coming out day. So then what? So that's kind of like where.
And then it's just like, you know, now you have me preparing. You have me. People normally create their routines, their new routines within the summertime. So if I'm coming into your extended season, which will be the semis and the nationals, how am I coming up with a whole new routine for, you know, the new organization, and then I had to come up with a regular routine just for the semis, and then, you know, the nationals where everybody goes full out. I had to come up with a nationals routine to go full out,
and then
they come back in the States.
Yeah.
Go full out like
we like kind of like talked about this a little bit before, but I don't think like from here it's like September, October, November, like a month. Like when we had this conversation, it was a 3 month span in between. Like I agree with him because I was like, no, we could do like it could be done, but now it's like September, October, November. It's like no, I would.
Especially if you want to put your best, you want to win nationals, so you're going to come with your best as you come to any nationals, just as. Well, I'm pretty sure everybody's coming for nationals, but any competition. But I'm saying, you know, nationals and states are normally the bigger competition when people bring in the props. You know, people kind of not chance if they fall back and create for the nationals during the season. You get what I'm saying? And they just keep themselves afloat. But you have me going all out for nationals, and then I have to come right back for the states, and then my routine cannot. I sure don't want to put out my
whole nationals
or my states routine for Enhent and your states at the nationals, and it's just like it creates you. And then like it becomes like a not fair thing. You get what I'm saying? Like you have people that will see your routine that not only see your national routine that you perform at AMA's nationals is. And Enhent's probably not gonna be right about not too far behind them. So now you have people who's not in Enhent. I mean, who's not in AMA can see, like as you said before, can watch your routine, and now they can, okay, this is what they're coming with. I mean, it's competition. They probably can't change it too much in the beginning, but even still, it kind of feels like they have a lead over you, because now I had to put out what I had right now. We were preparing for the Enhent states. We were preparing for states, period, and now we're going into like the end of the season and starting the season. It's not fair in no way, and I think that maybe people who are active, like the younger generation, you know, kind of he needs to let them help out, and I think people need to get out of the mindset of, oh, well, if Bonnie's a judge, oh, she's going to pick her team. You know, people need to get out of that, because, you know, I think that the fact that if we had people who were active in this generation now, like, you know, as staff members or stuff like that, like the directors and stuff like that, it would just be more like fluent. It would flow so much better, because we know what we know what our teams need. We know, like, you know, what hinders us and stuff like that. And then we have like people who aren't in these organizations, who don't have to go through what we have to go through, you know, making decisions for us. You know, like how the AMA has like a firm. Right. You know, like that was a good decision. The Enhent firm, like, you know, that was a good idea, because it gives you a chance to, you know, speak on, you know, or help, you know, make decisions with them also, and have an input. And it's like AMA is just like, this is what you're getting, this is what you're not. And it's like, this is the first time I ever heard, you know, it's been asked, like, do you guys want to do this? You know, so
I mean,
we kind of voted. We voted that year on when he was going to change the. We had votes sometimes. Like he voted on that whole like open thing when they were going to like
get considered. That's how we feel. It doesn't like get.
I guess that's what I want to say. Like it's just like, you know, this is, you guys want to do this. It's like, no, we don't want to do that. But it's the end result. Yeah. You know, it's still this. It's still what we asked you guys to do. Do not want to do, and you guys, the majority said no, but we still want to do this.
Yeah, this is the first time that I recollect that, you know, it's like, do you guys want to do this? And we said yes, and it happened.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I guess we'll see what what happens, like I'm just like whatever.
I mean, I feel like in this time y'all had a long time. It's been a long time coming when y'all had this idea to think about, a next season, like what y'all gonna do for next season and what can possibly happen and restart this season or going fresh.
Well, from what I know, not to cut you off, I'm sorry. From what I know, he's, I guess at the meeting, he was kind of like saying like he's open for help and ideas from, some fresh crops. So
my fresh idea would be, I would hope that this time, in this period, that if you want to start in November, that you book all your venues.
You do it this summer. My thing is,
I think what Brian said is a good idea, honestly, like, especially being in the situation that they were in. It seems like, to us, what they put out, it was the venue. The venues were the problem, you know what I'm saying? And to me, I think that makes sense. It's good for the teams. If you're at one competition for 3 competitions back to back, it makes sense because it's like now we know how, like, what the cost is looking like each competition. It helps everybody out. You get what I'm saying? And
you know what? Good. Like, for instance, I hate to hear people always complain. You know what? I love you black people. Y'all are my people, but y'all complain too much. It's always something. I want to go to Wildwood every year. The TIA go to Wildwood every year. It's the same first weekend in May. It does not change. It's on the calendar in Wildwood every year. They go and they're there.
But for real.
But here's the thing. It's possibility. Listen. But listen, they provide a lot for those teams. Here's a price. Here's a price. I'm just sticking it out there. I don't really know like exactly what the price is. Your team is responsible. Here's a list of hotels that we as the TIA, as the organization has contracted. You pick what's feasible for you and your team. Let's say that package is $5,000. You have to come up with that $5,000. However, y'all do it within your team. But your kids get a wristband for the weekend.
Okay.
They're in that competition. They get a wristband for the weekend.
Yes, I would go there. I would go to Wildwood every year.
My thing is, make it so. My thing is, if we're going to go to Wildwood, if we're going to go to Wildwood every year, then you make it worth our while to go, so that we know that every weekend, this one weekend a year, this is where our nationals is. Even WGI, it's always in Ohio.
And that
doesn't change for them either. And that way you know what you're looking at. You can always, when we go to Wildwood and we stay in Wildwood, we've gone enough. I go to the same hotel. It's directly across the street from the convention center. I go directly. This time we even was smart about it. I'm gonna get school buses. You gonna drop us off.
And you can leave.
I don't need you. We walk across the street to the competition. Right. I don't need you to stay. I don't need all that extra stuff. Now I'm learning how to cut down costs. Right. We staying at the same hotel. That's my girl Angie. Shout out to Angie from the Holiday Inn, because she know it. She like, I remember you buying these sales. Still always calling her. She cut us breaks. She helped out. I never have no issues. So
don't call and try to act like you're Bonnie and Sid and answer Angie.
No, don't do that. But I'm just saying, so for me, I'm not bored with that. Like, I'm okay with it, because then you have the situations where we were supposed to go to Atlanta, and you start having the teams that are complaining because they small teams and they got kids whose parents don't really do for them, so they don't really ask their parents for money, so they don't got the money to really go to Atlanta. So if we go to Atlanta, then we out. Then you out. Because it's one or the other. Nobody's ever satisfied. So you have to just pick a situation and stick with it. And that's just how the cookie crumbles. My thing is that what needs to happen is that you need to deal with what works for you. Stop trying to be in competition with everybody else. You can't keep up with the Joneses. So if for you, Mr. Tony and the AMA, it works that you use certain people, and we constantly, people complain, I'm tired of going to Mooresville. Listen, it was a steady competition. I didn't care. Let me get on the bus. I know how much it costs now because we done went 3 other times. So let me just book this bus. We going to Mooresville. We ain't gonna get lost. We gonna make sure we make it there. We gonna have our competition and we gonna go home. You gonna complain, but you're gonna go anyway. So listen, let's nix all the listening to the complaining. Set your dates. Set it with the people who have the venues, and set your nationals. And if for you, if it's easier to know that your money can afford for us to go to Wildwood every year, then that's fine. That's where we're going. It's a vacation for my kids. My kids are not gonna say I'm tired. They still gonna go, even if they say we're going to Wildwood again. Listen, I bet your mom don't take you nowhere all summer, but you're going to Wildwood.
With the first time he does it, it just. If he knows he had to pay $12,000 for the venue and for the convention center in June, you get what I'm saying? He knows if he want to do it next year too, he knows that too. So now he knows that okay, the $12,000 once he gets there, that's done. Now he can. I mean, he can start working up
like you said, fresh blood. He can actually look and take a page out of Enhent's book. Not to say they're making a whole bunch of money, from their fundraisers and from the different things that they're doing with their organization, but they're still making something. Like you're not doing nothing to like even generate a profit besides these competitions, and then you're not even really generating a great profit because you're kicking out more than what you getting back. Yeah. So take a page out of Enhent's book, or something like that, and do a fundraiser, for the AMA, a little party, something, a cookout,
appreciation,
or give out, even if it's not a fundraiser, give back. The problem is you're not giving back. So I'm putting in, but I get nothing out of it but a plastic trophy.
I don't think no one would attend. I don't think no one would attend because it's like. Now we're just giving you more money. You get what I'm saying? We didn't even get our money's worth, versus if you were to have something that's given to us, now we can feel like, okay, now we're getting something.
I think the problem in his case is, the part of explaining. I don't think he likes to explain himself to no one or anything like that. Because you explain this, like I said, take a page. If you explain it like, okay, we're going to do this, and this is a fundraiser to build an organization, like how Enhent did. This is a fundraiser with the firm. They explain to us, they explain.
Businesses have shareholder meetings. If I'm investing my money into something, you owe me some explanation.
Right.
I need to know where my money's going and what's going on. So you owe me some explanation. So therefore, my thing is, I don't care if you're having pissing contest attitudes and your thing is you don't feel like you owe me no explanation because you're the CEO. I don't care about that. Because I can just take my money and never come back.
Right, yeah.
And that's fine too. And then we'll see when everybody starts to feel that way, how long you're standing. This is the first time I've ever seen that the AMA has never had like a competition. Like this was really a bad situation. So you need to be able to come back from that. And right now, coming back from that does not mean standing in front of a meeting and dictating what's going on, because to be quite honest, you need us, and that's my answer.
And we'll see you in November. Hopefully. That's when the season starts?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
I need to see what happens at the first meeting. So if we're having the first meeting in September, you got to come to. I don't want no dates and not a location, but a city. I don't want a date in a city. I don't want a date in a city. I want a date, a city, the actual location. And I need whoever booked that to be standing up and saying contract is done, signed, and out the way.
I'm calling facilities there. Are we booked for
yeah, because that's down my team is coming and we're trying to get a hotel. I'm
sorry, we do not even have this in our
we have a basketball convention this weekend. I'm sorry.
And I'll let everybody say.
I'm just saying, I don't need a date in the city. Yeah. I need this to be booked and at least, like, I need concrete information at this point.
But we are getting ready for our nationals.
Yes, we are. June 25th.
Yeah.
Northeast.
This week.
So, this week. Yeah, so.
At the Armory.
Northeast Armory.
I ain't been at the Armory in a long time.
No, and I think the last time I was at the Northeast Armory was when EMG was out and one of our competitions was there.
I can't even remember that.
That was one of our competitions, and that was before they roped it off and boxed it off.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of construction and everything.
I guess my intermediates are ready, so
What you asking me? Everybody?
Yeah.
I mean, it's always the last week or the week.
Right, like as far as my kids though, like I'm very proud of them. Like this is definitely, I definitely for the intermediates, but I'm proud for the intermediate percussion and the intermediate. So I'm actually just excited to see them go into nationals, and I'm excited to see everybody's team just because I know everybody's been working hard. We haven't had a competition. It's been a very good.
But like I get what you said because like you explained to the girls and the girls know or your kids know like what nationals is, and just to see them perform and just to get excited to perform for nationals is just like it's like overwhelming. Like I'm crying.
I know I'm gonna cry. So that's typically why I never see them perform. I like to watch the aftermath, like the tape. I never really watch them perform because I'm a cry baby. So everything makes me I'm sensitive about everything when it comes down to stuff like that, movies, watching them perform. So they're like my babies, and I'm just going to be like, I'm just too sensitive. I love to see the kids just do well, so it makes me cry. Right? And I know the last time, Daryl and Virgil kept saying, you ain't gonna watch them, so I'm like peeking behind the thing. But then here come a tear. I was like, this is why I don't watch them. I'm watching them from the back and I'm getting all teary-eyed because I'm like, but I'm gonna watch them because I am excited. I try not to watch their show while they're practicing. So the drummers right now, because they didn't have shows, so the open's not practicing. We're practicing with the drummers. So we practice after all the kids practice and go home. So I just try to stay away from watching them actually practice, just because I know what they're doing because Syl's my sister, but I just want to be like, I just want to watch them go off. I don't want to see the practice part of it. I just want to see them perform and go off. And I'm proud of the kids altogether, especially my kids, because they're gelling, they're building relationships and going out with each other. We try to take them out and things like that. So it's just the future of our LZP is definitely
it's going right. It's gonna be a good bunch.
Yeah. So I'm just excited because them little mama jammers they're working and they are just ready. So
and you can tell by the smile on her face. And
even Val came upstairs. He was at practice 2 weeks ago, and he came upstairs, and I'm looking. We outside talking, and I'm just looking at him like, the little mama jammers. Oh my God! I was like, what? He was like, feel my heart. Yo, they brought a tear to my eye. I was like, see, that's because you don't be seeing them practice. But I don't want to see them. So everybody running downstairs to go watch them. Kid like, I'm about to go down there and watch them. I was like, I'll just sit out here and watch everybody's bags. I'm just excited altogether. For me, I just drill to drill.
The girls come out and everything like that.
Yes, I'm going to be excited. So are they going to be drilling for the coming out day?
Who?
Your girls.
It's that kind of experience.
So you're going to get to experience a little bit of Iconic.
Oh, okay. Well, excuse me. Okay. Whatever. I'm just saying. I'm excited to see.
But they should be performing that day.
Okay, that's what I'm excited to see. Like, the progression of the children. Like, I just do it for fun. That's what I like to do. So, I just had this conversation yesterday. I was just like, when people start yelling about they too old to drill, and I just be like, that starts to make me believe that drill team is your life. And that's why you have the attitude that you're too old to drill. Right. Drill team isn't my life. I have a life outside of drill team. So it's still fun. It's still fun for me. I drill, shout out to Nita, because she was out there holding it down on Logan. Like, she held it down for us as this, for me being this age, so I'm okay with it.
I could do it, she could do it,
right. So so it's okay for me. It's something that I do, I do for fun. It's something to be able to bond with, some of the younger people. It keeps me young, so so it works for me.
And it's shape, like, don't forget that, like, because I stay in shape because for real, and I tell a lot of people that a lot of like people, like even my friends, when you quit, you going to get fat. And you going to get big, and what happened? They start gaining weight, and I know, like, I can't. If I stop, like, I might not gain weight, but it's
gonna see a difference.
Yeah, I'm gonna see a difference, and it's not.
I ain't drilling like maybe
last season, shit.
Wait, I don't.
Last season,
it was like some summer stuff.
Yeah,
like the August. Yeah, last year I gained a lot of weight and lost it and gained it again. I keep going back to practice with my girls, you know. So
to keep it all. See, there is some perks.
Yeah,
too.
some perks. Like you said, for people that say, you know, drill team, whatever, they just made it their life.
Yeah, you just made it your life, and that's all it was.
That makes, I never looked at it like that because I'm not gonna lie. I think it was maybe a few shows back. I'm like, you know, I don't feel like. Well, I mean, I didn't say I was too old.
No, you didn't say you were too old.
But yeah, I didn't look at it like that. You know that. Yeah.
I just feel like you know you kind of made it your life.
Yeah, you made it your life.
And so now you feel like that's now I'm too old because I got to do this. Listen, I work. I was in school at one point in time. I have 2 kids, a house to maintain. Now I'm planning a wedding. I'm in a wedding.
Congratulations!
For how long?
Huh?
Your jersey has been standing for how long?
We started July of 2013. So, you know, and we're growing and I'm excited. So, don't worry, we ain't going nowhere. So, you know, and I have a lot of things, you know, on my plate, but I
that
make
goes
time
back
for
to one of our previous episodes that we talked about time management as well. Like, tune in, go back, catch up.
Right. Do that.
Don't worry, we're going to be dropping these joints every week.
So, yeah, now that it's coming out.
Yeah.
Yes. It's something to do, something to talk about. But, you know, so I just, just touching back on the topics. Hopefully the AMA has themselves together. Hopefully there's
a better
peace
season
at the rest of these coming out days for the summer.
July 16th, the United States of Confusion, we will have police.
July 23rd, the iconic experience.
And be there.
You don't want to miss this experience.
And this is the first year that Royal Legacy hasn't had a coming out day.
Wait, I didn't even know this.
I spoke to Kia yesterday and she was like, we ain't here. What?
Yes, so no, we're not having a coming out day this year. For one, August is, if you don't grab your date quick,
in August,
it's hard. So just actually looking at the coming out days, I think our date was grabbed anyway. So yeah, Foot Stompers is doing August 27th. And typically we were doing the last weekend, so it would have been August 27th. However, one of our drummers, shout out to Norm, congratulations to him and Shanira, they're actually getting married in Vegas. So Val's in the wedding, me and Kia are going to the wedding. So Jalil will be at the wedding. So we will be missing a very key points to making sure, I wouldn't want to put all of that on my sister. And so therefore, to have that run. And we had kind of thought about moving it.
Because one day is going to be her responsibility.
Right. We kind of thought about, like, it kind of played a part in if we were going to go into like September. But at one point when we thought about it, we knew that MMG was going to do the first weekend and United Movement was talking about like the second weekend, and I was just like, we're moving into September, people are starting their shows, so like in school, so that's already a rough transition because people get all these kids for the summer.
Out of state coming up days.
Yes, Lancaster is the first weekend in August, so that Lancaster
is United Movements or anybody in there.
I don't think they haven't talked about it, and shout out to Virgil and Tiana, they're getting married too.
Also, is Magic if anybody is Magic or you guys doing your coming out day and in Pure Dynasty,
so we can find out. Promote. So if we can find out if those two teams, but so our United Movement probably won't be having one because they're planning the wedding as well. So but I'm really not sure, but I would think that would be promotion going on right now just so that you have the adequate, proper time to plan. So if it is still going on, then just let us know. If not, let us know so that we don't actually keep
if you have flyers, let us know. We'll promote on our page.
Through our commercials.
Inbox it to us. Yeah. We'll promote it for you guys.
Yep. I don't have y'all know I'm promoting Queen, so I don't have no problem with
we're not gonna search and go through your pages and do that.
Yeah, I'm not scrolling.
So inbox us, your flyers, and we'll definitely promote for everyone. So wrapping it up again, like Ronnie said, I hope it's peace in the streets and everything like that. I hope the AMA gets it together.
And I hope everybody kicks it on June 25th.
And I want to give a shout out to the Drill Team World in whole, you know, because like lately a lot of people I've been seeing, you know, like the unity like come back a little bit more.
A lot of positivity.
Unfortunate that
Well,
you know, it was
right.
broken by, you know, but things happen, you know, and I hope they can come back from there. But I can honestly say that I've been seeing, like, you know, a lot of drill team participation, you know, and support from everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's good. I think that it's good that I'm seeing, you know, even drill teams, you know, sitting down for, like, you know, just to discuss, directors actually sitting down and, like, hashing things out just to get past it. Like, and I think that's, like, good. I haven't seen that, like, done in a while, and I think that's a good thing. And I hope that XK and Finance can do that.
Yep. So I'm your host, Bonnie.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Najee, and we'll see you next time on What's the Beat.